Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk about movies, TV, geek stuff, news, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker! With Nary Signs, you know the question is not on here that I could have said yes to would have been a cock ring. I'm like, oh, I've done that. Jeff,
It was called Bibbidi Bobbidi Doorknob.
Stephanie.
The only reason he was invited was because he was dating my friend. It was like a pity invite. And he was like one of the first people to get there. What a loser.
And we have Missy
Yes, I'm here.
is also here.
Missy is also here. A girl has no last name.
Not anymore, am I right? Huh? And special correspondence with Steph Mayer Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look cute for you.
Oh, no. And this is the What's Up Bro podcast.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
All right, and now we're actually recording.
Awesome.
Take two. All right, so we had recorded like 10 minutes of fun stuff, and then realized there was no memory card in the mixer. So there goes that, man.
Well, it was meant to be, I think. Anyways, you want to introduce yourself? Or
I
just going
am
to free ball it?
Free ball, because I'm free balling. I am, welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast. I am Nary Science. With me, as usual, is Missy, Misdemeanor, Booker. No last name.
I think the middle part you just added in, but hello, everyone. No, that's not my thing.
That's kind of your thing.
I don't walk around going, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Missy, record scratch, no last name.
Well, you don't say record scratch.
You're right.
You write record scratch on an application.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
you're
different.
right. That's stupid of me. I'm such an idiot.
That's true. It's true.
We should have, by the way, just want to pause for a second, point out that the record button is red, and when we were yammering just now, it was white. So
Right.
maybe that would have been a red flag or a red button, whatever.
It's a white flag.
I love that song. All right. So hit me.
Hit me with your bass shot.
No, not that.
I said, hit me with your bass shot. That was pretty good, actually. Now that's hearing that on a professional
Sure.
microphone.
Yeah.
I sounded like a pro. Anyways, so it's just us two today because the rest of the panel have grown-up things to do. One of which is closing on a home tonight. Is that the thing? Did that already happen?
I don't know. I'm trying to stay out of it.
Right. So apparently buying a home is stressful, people. You know?
Yeah, that's why I choose not to do it.
But luckily, it's good. From what I hear, it's good to go through all that stress because then after that, it's very easy because you're only going to be in debt for the next 30 to 40 years of your life.
No big deal.
No big deal. Just having that way over your head for the next ever.
Yeah.
Anyways, so shout out to our co-hosts who are not here. But we had a fun day today, Missy and I.
We had a BFF day.
Actually, you had a BFF weekend.
I did.
You had
Christy and I ran away for the weekend. It sounds
Christy from Mamas and Merlot podcast.
Christy from Mamas and Merlot. The only Christy I know and love. We ran away Friday and we went to Orlando for 2 days. We walked over 30,000 steps. So
Each.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be really impressive of you.
We took
between the both of you.
We took turns piggyback each. No, and it was fun. We had so much fun. And then on our way back, before we hit the road to come home, we picked up a comedian on the side of the road.
That's right. I was like,
he needed a ride.
We'll tell jokes for rides. Yeah, I worked a cruise ship out of Port Canaveral, which is about an hour drive to Orlando. So I met you guys at the Orlando airport because I had a flight, but I was like, I'd rather go hang out with my friends.
Yeah, you told me that when we were around the corner of your house. I'm like, I don't know how it came up, and you're like, yeah, I could have flown. And I'm like, but why didn't you? You've been in the car for 6 hours.
But I wanted to hang out with my friends.
That's nice.
My friends.
And gang up on me in the car.
Yeah, that's not the way that happened.
Yeah,
No, it was actually you beating me over the head the entire trip.
First of all, that would be physically impossible for me to do that when my hands were at 10 and 2 the whole time. So I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not really true.
Got
Got the bruises to prove it. You were beating me up emotionally the entire ride.
There are no bruises, so can't help you.
That's not true. I have a bruised ego and self-esteem.
Wow, this took a turn. Anyway, So we got back yesterday, and then today I took like a recovery day. It was planned, it was scheduled, so don't fire me job. And
they're not listening to this.
maybe I'm like a big deal. No, I'm not. So I slept in, and then today I went to the movies with my friend Mary.
That's right.
But before we went to the movies, we went to lunch.
The most expensive lunch of all time.
Let me explain something. Let me paint a picture. We are pulling into the shopping center where the movie theater is, and we are in the physical area, like maybe a 30-second drive to where we were originally planning to go, which was Pollo Tropical. And then a restaurant sneaked up on the right to us, and Neri said, "What's this?" And I said, "I don't know." And we decided to try it out.
It's a mom and pop shop.
That was highly recommended.
That was highly recommended because we have friends who don't like to go to big companies, big corporate
Right. They
restaurants.
like supporting mom and pop companies,
Like
but
supporting-
also have annuals to Disney. But whatever.
That's a
I'm
mom
not
and
gonna
pop.
nitpick.
That's a mom and pop shop.
you're right.
Theme park.
You're right.
There's the family. It's family owned and operated.
The restaurant or Disney?
No, Disney. It's family owned.
Oh,
and
yeah.
operated.
Yeah.
Oh, 72,000
Oh,
employees are family.
Time out. I want to tell you,
Just
though.
like the Olive Garden. When you're there, you're family.
I want to say something. When we were in Hollywood Studios on Friday, we went to Toy Story Land, obviously. And if you're listening and you're going to go to Disney soon, I highly recommend you go to Woody's Lunchbox and try the tachos. What are those? Let me explain. They are tater tots. Okay? And then on top of the tater tots, they put all the fixings of nachos. So sour cream, the chili, the chives, and they even added in some Fritos, like for an extra
I like
crunch.
the fact that you throw in the chives. Like, that's going to sell anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat. Oh, chives. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm
listening,
trying
I'm
to paint a
listening.
picture, man. I'm a storyteller. I don't know if you've noticed. So, we had that, and it was
Just put in a hat.
amazing. So, if you are going to Disney, I do recommend that. And we did the Slinky roller coaster. I don't know what that was for.
The Slinky roller coaster is my favorite roller coaster. Is my favorite ride in Disney now.
Okay, but you haven't been on Flight of Passage yet.
No, I've
And
not.
Galaxy's Edge is not open, so
Galaxy's
TBD.
Edge, yeah.
But we did
I
right.
did say so far, so I don't know. Like I wasn't.
Well, I kind of hate you right now, so.
I'm not as psyched for Galaxy's Edge as everybody else is.
Well, maybe you just don't want to hype it up in your head and then be disappointed. Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of nitpicker and assholes. And we're like, you know what I don't like? I feel like the curtains could have been a little more realistic. Or I don't think they had curtains from Target at Galaxy's Edge or whatever the fuck they're going to say.
I just I don't know. I'm not Uber. I'm not like, oh my god, I need it. Okay.
All right. Well,
Not for Galaxy's Edge, anyways. I feel like that for. I feel like just the general going to Disney. I'm okay with, but I would be excited to go to Disney. Period. But I'm not like, oh, I need to go to Galaxy. Same thing goes for the Avatar. I still haven't seen Avatar Land, and I'm not like, oh, I need it. I feel like I'm missing
it's
out.
awesome.
I'm sure it is. And again, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I'm not.
Yeah, you're not like you're okay with going. I think the experience of like the family trip for you is the fun part.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, we picked up Neri. I had the day off. We had a very expensive lunch.
Super. Because look, first of all, so the lady comes in, the waitress, and she's like, "Oh, what are you guys looking to eat?" Now I again restarted because I've gained back the weight that I had lost. I've gained it back in the last 2 months. It's not been a good summer, or been too good of a summer, however you want to look at it, for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm back on the strict diet. Eating again, diet is just a word, but it's just going back to eating healthy and reducing carbs and sugar, right? So a lot of protein, and I'm like, oh, I'm here to eat protein, meat and chicken and stuff. And she's like, well, we have a platter that has this and that and this, and it's basically a carnivore platter. And I'm like, she's like, and for 2 people, it's great. And I'm like, and then we look at each other. I go, I don't know. That sounds good to me. Does that sound good to you? And she said, yeah, I'm down. I'm like, if you want to order something else, you totally can. And she goes, no, let's do that. Fine. So we do that. And then 5 minutes later, we're in the middle of a conversation, and Missy turns over to me and says,
we didn't ask how much that's going to cost. And, you're like, yeah, we didn't. And I said, for all we know, it could be like, what if it's $100? I told him. And he goes, well, just stand up and walk away. And we had a chuckle and a half. So then the plate comes, and it is, I feel like it could have fed a family of 4. It was
No. I think it could have fed maybe one more person, and that person would have been small. If that person would have been Jeff, we wouldn't have had enough food.
But that's because Jeff
eat.
eats a 20, like baby cows.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Right.
It was a lot of food, don't get me wrong, but I put a good dent in that. You did okay, but I put more of a dent in that than you did. But somebody else, if it would have been another, and again, not to be sexist, just women just generally eat less, which is proven.
You didn't want to eat any of the asparagus, which was really weird.
Okay, I've never had asparagus in my life, and
I know. I told you to try it.
I didn't feel like today was the day.
It was for what we paid. You should have tried it. You should have licked the fucking board.
I didn't know that's what I was gonna pay. Had I known that, I would have been like, "Can I get extra asparagus, motherfucker?"
Honestly, can I be real? When the waitress walked away and I asked for the tab, and she came back with it, and I go to you, "Are we splitting this in half?" And you go, "Yeah." I hadn't seen the tab yet.
I hadn't seen it either.
When the tab came, I was like, "Fuck! I shouldn't have brought it up."
Oh no, it was gonna happen anyway. but no, I honestly, I was the thought process in my head is like, I'll just put it down on my credit card and then you could just Venmo me.
Right.
That's like how we usually do things.
Correct.
In our friendship. So when you go, she hadn't even brought back the tab yet.
And I was like, we're speaking this time. Yeah. And then the tab came, and before tip, it was like $80.
Yeah.
And that hurt my balls.
Yeah. So total, we each paid
like $47
with tip each of us,
and we would have spent $10 each at Pollo Tropical, which we did for dinner.
We're like,
because that's it. We're on a budget for the rest of the week.
Yeah, man. Well, there goes anything fun I had planned for the rest of the fucking week. Jesus.
No movies for you.
No. But we did go to the movies.
We watched Hobbs and Shaw.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Okay.
My name is Ho.
Let me explain why he's paying. Okay. Let me explain why he's playing this song, listeners. It's because this song was featured in the trailer
heavily.
And Neri is beside himself that they didn't even play a 10-second clip of this.
Nothing. Not a whisper. Not a mention of Jay-Z by the characters.
But
nothing.
I feel like for what we sat through, that's the least of your problems. Because you also have another gripe.
I do have a gripe.
That I don't understand, but I support because I'm a good friend.
First of all, okay, can we just tell the audience that if you're going to go see Hobbs and Shaw, which is actually the full title of the movie is Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. So you already know it's part of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Correct.
So part of that universe. With that said, you know that there are certain things that come with the Fast and Furious franchise, such as extreme accuracy and realism when it comes to things such as physics.
Correct.
Time. These are all real things.
Family conflict, because I don't know a family that figures their shit out that fast.
Well, in all fairness, it did take 25 years. So.
And then 5 minutes, but whatever.
Well, it was actually 9, not to be a dick, but
but I'm gonna.
So all of this is okay with me. What the part that I have an issue with.
Just hold on, listeners, to your pants. I don't know, your body parts. Go ahead.
Put it in your hat. So, listen to this. So,
this is his problem. I can't get over that. This is his fucking problem.
So, in the movie, they have a scene where they're in Samoa and they're doing their haka, which. Again, not spoiling because this is part of the trailers.
Correct.
This has been in the featured heavily in the trailers. And if you follow The Rock on Instagram, which if you're on Instagram, chances are you follow the fucking Rock because he has a billion followers. He shows this. Like he's shown many clips. All right. So my biggest gripe is that while he's doing this and they're beating up people and blah 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 and they're fighting, they're like the bad guys are like get the helicopter, and then The Rock is like I'm gonna go chase him. As he's getting into the helicopter and as he's running, as he stops fighting, the people on land, hand-to-hand combat.
Because they had deactivated all the guns.
Yeah, don't tell him that. But he runs towards the helicopter, and as he's running towards the helicopter, he has the fortitude, the knowledge, to not only take off his man skirt, I guess, his Samoan attire. I don't want to call it a skirt. I don't want to disrespect their culture. But he also then continues to put on his T-shirt to follow the fucking.
And this is his gripe.
I don't know. I just think, look, it's not a bulletproof vest. It's not like, hey, I got to put this on because I'm gonna be chasing a helicopter.
To be honest, The Rock's chest is the bulletproof vest.
You know what? You're not wrong.
I mean, I think that shit could stop fucking thunder.
So, so my issue was, why is he running putting his T-shirt? It's just a T-shirt. Why would you even bother putting your T-shirt back on? Because time is of the essence here. So I don't understand.
Right.
And this has nothing to do with the fact that I wanted to keep watching. I'm a big fan of The Rock, and I wanted to keep watching him with his shirt off.
I think that it might. I think that it's
I think that's sexist. And
I also think that it's not true because, you love The Rock.
I do.
In the most hetero way possible.
And some homosexual ways too.
I would say that, yes, I wanted to give you a break, but sure.
I think it's a 30-70 split, depending on
which way.
It doesn't matter.
Alrighty.
I don't believe in titles. I don't believe in labels, so we're just gonna continue.
That's his biggest gripe, and let me tell you.
He just puts a T-shirt
oh
on.
my god! But
and the fact that he broke the window to the car when he absolutely did not. You literally could have put the fucking window down. He punches through.
That's not in the trailer, so chill.
He punches through. That's actually in a trailer. In one of the trailers, it's a split second.
He sticks his hand out. There's a car chase, and
he just sticks his hand out and body slams a fucking dude on a motorcycle, which is fine.
Mid car chase.
However,
totally believable.
The fact that actually is not.
Of course,
totally
because if he slammed a person up against a wall at that speed, his arm would stay on his body. You're totally right. I'm such an asshole. But go ahead. And then what happens, the sequence goes, wait. The sequence goes, they're in the car chase, whatever, action, and these bad guys are after him. And The Rock punches his fist through the window, grabs the guy, and slams him up against the building, and they keep going. He keeps his arm, no scratches, nothing happens. Neri turns to me, not even a split second later, he goes, why didn't he just roll down the window? Why did he punch the...
I feel like that's it. And it was a McLaren.
That was excessive?
It was a McLaren, dude. It's a fucking expensive car.
Not his car.
Yes, but
and they weren't getting along yet.
It's still, I feel as if, why don't you just at least, if he would have been like, put the window down, and he would have been like, shut up, and then he would be like, fuck this, and then he done that.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. I think what you're trying to say is that what's missing from this entire movie experience is logic, and I think nobody would disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to. I don't go to Expendables thinking like, oh man, it's a rom-com.
Have you actually seen the Expendables?
Yes, I've seen all three of them.
I don't think the Expendables has that much paquete. I'm being honest. I'm not saying that it's a fucking documentary. I'm saying...
Well, it is the year of the documentary, as some people might say.
I am saying compared to every movie in the Fast and Furious, yes, Expendables are documentaries.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a docuseries.
Based on a push.
Sapphire.
So we did that, and then we hung out, and now we're recording.
I am pretty sure I bought some stolen headphones.
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but sure.
So I'm on my Facebook,
as everyone is,
and I, fat fingers, and I pressed the market button.
Sure,
I think is that what it's called? Market?
I don't know.
Marketplace.
On
your app, on your Facebook app,
Mm-hmm.
mistakenly, because I never go there.
Mm-hmm.
And there are Beats by Dre. Which ones are they? I'll tell you now. Beats by Dre Studio 3 wireless headphones for $50. And so my response, I emailed the guy, the guy, message him, and I said, are these new, like barely used new, or new like brand new, never been used new? And he says, never been used. So I was like, okay. So we go meet up. It's kind of like an offer up situation where you have to go, agree upon a location.
A public location.
And
he took me for protection.
Well, kind of, I guess. I took you because you were... If not, you would have been sleeping in my house when I got back. So
I mean, I don't see the bad part there.
So we went, and I got the headphones, and I checked them out and inspected them, and I was like, kind of look legit. I mean, he had like 6 pair in the fucking trunk of his car.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not going to ask any questions. And
maybe he got a good deal on Black Friday.
I'm just going to, yeah, last November. This is August. So I'm not going to ask any questions. So I just took them and said, thank you.
And
Thank
good
you
night.
kindly, and good night. There you go.
Well, and then I had started watching Long Shot,
The movie Long Shot.
the movie Long Shot,
With Charlize Theron,
and
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. To which, at the beginning of the movie, we hadn't left to get the headphones yet, but I'm sitting on the couch, and of course, Charlize Theron is stunning. And I say these words out loud, and Neri looks at me with crazy eyes for a second, like I'm speaking a foreign language, and I'm like, the lady on the screen, she's beautiful, and he's like,
What I said was, I mean, whatever.
and I'm like, what? Are we looking at the same TV? And then he started laughing, and he,
No, but for a moment, I had you believing that I thought.
Well, I wasn't
that
nearly
Charlize
as
Theron was-
enraged when we were watching Fighting with My Family, and the scene with WrestleMania came up, and you turned around and you're like, "Oh, WrestleMania's like," and I'm looking at him like,
No,
"Bitch."
so I literally turned to Missy and I said, WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl of wrestling. It's like it's a huge
like
event,
legit,
big-
and I start looking around like, who the fuck is he talking to?
Literally, there was nobody else in the fucking room. It was just me and her. She looked around and goes, "To me?
Yeah.
You're saying that to me?"
Yeah.
To me?
I was insulted. I will go to my grave like holding on to that moment where I was like, who the fuck is he? Because he's not talking to me about that, but he was, and it was funny. So not as bad as that moment, but still, I was like, the lady with, how bad is your eyesight that you're going to question this? But she is stunning.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was definitely somebody that hated on the trailers of this movie because, first of all, I saw it a lot of times because I go to the movies every week. But I was definitely like thinking, no way is this movie going to be good because just the premise seems very like. It's funny coming from somebody who's a fan of Hobbs and Shaw, but it didn't seem very realistic. And then
is there a woman running for president? Bah.
no, that
Hogwash.
that part was depressing as fuck. That she ran and whatever, like that shit was fucking sad. But we're watching it and I started questioning like why people slept on this movie. Like it's really, really good. I recommend it. And it was cute. I loved it. I love the message. I love they had really good chemistry. It didn't seem like forced.
I saw this movie last week for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was like, you gotta watch it.
But did you like it? Did you think I was gonna like it because she was a woman running for president? Or?
No. I honestly, that wasn't even a believable on my radar. I just said that as a joke now because you go, it wasn't believable. I'm like, what part wasn't believable?
That she ran.
That she took her shirt off. She put her shirt back on. I just didn't find that believable. So you saw Hobbs and Shaw. Like, why would this? How is this movie not believable? What about this movie is not believable?
Because a woman has run before, and
right,
yeah,
couple.
Yes, correct.
So
anyway, it was a good day. I'm excited.
You might want to tell your face.
It's fucking 10:30, bitch.
We're gonna do a blind taste test because Missy. There are certain days that Missy loves dark chocolate. There are certain days that Missy's not feeling well. And her thing is to eat dark chocolate, specifically Hershey's quote unquote special dark chocolate.
It's the best. I love it.
Right. And so I saw another one. Was it Godiva? What was the other one?
No, I don't know. I don't even know.
Right,
you gotta go get it. But
so
it's
I saw another one fancy. It was a fancy.
Yeah.
It was a fancy
packaging.
And I said, "What about this one?" And you said, "No, this one." And I'm like, "What? What?" Like,
but because if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. Like I know that Hershey's Special Dark
But what
is
if it could be
fixes
better?
it.
But what if it could be better?
But why even make the effort? I'm so tired. I'm just tired.
That sounds like a boring sex life. Like, if missionary does the trick, why explore other positions? No. You should.
That would be part of the movie. That would be part of the movie where it things went south.
Does that mean a blowjob? How does that go? South, going south, going down, further down.
There's
going for the border.
there's no way to say that without wrapping it around the euphemism. So let's just sidestep that whole mess.
Yeah. So I thought
that's not how. That's the one thing has nothing to do with the other.
My point is
my condition right now makes me very lethargic, and I just don't give a fuck. Just
so
throw chocolate at it.
It's so funny that you use the word condition because I feel as if a man would use that word, it would be a situation. If I would have been like, she has a condition, you would have lost your fucking mind.
If you would have diagnosed me with a condition?
No, if I would have just said right now, Missy right now is going through, she's in in her condition. She needs, you to be quiet and eat dark chocolate,
Correct.
you would have been like, what the fuck? You would have lost your
Well, to be
ever-loving
fair,
mind.
this entire week is just a trap for me to get to feel something. So
Yeah, drop.
yeah. So
Drop.
but I mean, you can't go wrong with the one thing I did miss yesterday.
We're gonna do a blind taste test.
We were gonna stop at Disney Springs before getting on the road, and we couldn't. But the one thing I did want, and now I understand why, was Ghirardelli ice cream, which was last time I went to Disney Springs. I went with your wife, and we had the fucking best ice cream ever.
In San Francisco, they have their factory there.
Well, I haven't. I can just go to Orlando and go to the store, or Dayland.
So in San Francisco, they had their factory there, and it's like the storefront is in the front. It's pretty amazing. So I got a box. I got a Marvel Collector's box for this month. It's a Spider-Man box.
Okay.
And it has
cute. It's a drawstring backpack.
Drawstring backpack that says Midtown School of Science Technology, which is Peter Parker School.
Peter Parker.
And then it comes with a what is this?
Like a plush, like a beanie thing.
It's that thing.
Hacky sack.
Hacky sack. A
But of
spider,
his head, that's kind of aggressive.
And then they have the exclusive collector core Funkos.
Is that a Funko of Mr. Freeze?
It's Mysterio and Spider-Man. And that's it.
I watched this movie for the second time a couple weeks ago because I took my little cousins to it.
And to the listeners, we have a
spoiler special.
Spoiler special out, so you can listen
Mary
to that.
and Mike and I talked about it. And during the second time I watched it, I messaged Nary and I was like, hey, an alternate name for this film is Spider-Man Disgruntled Employees. So I just wanted to share that.
This is going to be used by HR departments everywhere on how not to fire people.
Correct. What could go wrong if you do it wrong. But yeah. I had a really exciting Sunday night, though, after I dropped you guys off and woke up from my nap. I started to organize my Twitter feed.
Something that you didn't know was
no,
public.
I did know that you could do it. I didn't know that once I sort you get a notification, which is weird because I put people in my people I know in real life that I technically only know because of social media, and I know they're real people, but I haven't met them in real life. And I'm like giving this news alert to Neri this afternoon. He's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, no, I haven't said this yet. What are you talking about? He goes, no, I got a notification. He goes, you put all of our podcasts in the podcasting list. You put me in entertainment and people you know in real life. And I'm like, oh, fuck, everybody's going to know what I did. Not that I care. It's just I need to organize it, man, because it's too much information that they throw at you. So, living my best life. It's a glamorous life, but somebody has to do it. Oh, do you want to see if we can call Steph right quick?
I mean, I know we can.
So let's call her. Let's call her. She had some shit she wanted to get off her chest, but she couldn't come because those old things.
Those things are called breast.
No, she can't get those off her chests.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Oh, my God. The whole way home, he was bitching about how that song wasn't on. And the shirt. Jesus, that's loud.
I'll put it on.
Stephanie.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell she's saying. She has a lot to get off her chest, man.
Honestly, this is the second time we try to call you, bitch.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but I was. See, this is the fun part. She's supposed to be... I guess we should have texted her before.
Well, I'm messaging her now, but hang up on her. I mean, her phone. Oh, she ruined it.
It's kind of what she does.
Well, the point is that...
Oh, look, this Funko lights up. The Mysterio lights up.
Oh, awesome. Does it light up in HR complaints? Did you have a good day, or did you
I had a great day.
Yeah, I don't feel like you did.
No, why? Why would you say that?
I don't know. It's my condition.
Yeah, you have a weird condition. It happens every month. You should
It's
get a
so
checkup on
weird. It's so weird. It's like I don't know if men can understand it, that you're hot and you're cold and you're cranky and also emotional and like you don't want to eat, but also you want to eat everything. It's opposing feelings left and right. It sucks. Stop laughing at me.
You're just like, it's opposing emotions.
It is. That's the best way I can describe it.
Well, you described it earlier, too, and it was pretty good.
What?
Well, you said somebody stabbing you.
There's an alien stabbing my uterus over and over again. It sucks. Anyways, hey, guys, I know, since I know this is a podcast geared towards mostly women.
Is it?
No. I'm basically on just so that you can't say it's a 100% bro man show.
I don't know about 100%, but it's...
No, I know. That's why I'm on. I just explained it. But whatever. I guess you don't want to listen to me and I don't matter. So...
I just try to wait for you to stop talking so I can insert whatever I'm going to say.
Oh, so now you know what it's like to try and podcast with you my whole entire life.
Well, yeah. If your whole entire life is 2 years...
Pretty much. I gotta restart. There was a blip and I just started.
Oh, you were part of the bleep?
Yep.
The bleep?
Yep.
The blip?
What's the bit in the end game when he's like, it was Spider-Man. My wife pretended to blip.
Oh, yeah, she pretended to blip, but she just left me.
Well, anyway.
All right. So there's a story that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Did you like Hobbs and Shaw, by the way?
I did like Hobbs and Shaw. I liked it because of its ridiculousness. It made me love it because there's none of that is real.
What?
And I also enjoyed the 30 seconds that Roman Reigns was on there.
Dude, I was so disappointed that he didn't have a speaking role. Like,
But-
not a single fucking line, not a single word.
But you don't go to the movies to listen to Roman Reigns.
I thought that was
speak.
gonna be his like, hey, I can act too, and like his little,
like okay, but
he
maybe
didn't even get what The Rock got. The Rock and Scorpion in The Mummy Returns got like he got at least a sentence that was in another language. He didn't even get that.
okay, but he was still in it. And I also like this. I love when people. I mean, The Rock has the power, the man power, I guess, the credibility to do whatever he wants with these stories. But I really like that he incorporated the Samoa thing.
No, I love that aspect of it. I was looking forward to it. I kind of wish they wouldn't have put that in the trailer, honestly, because I think that would have been a great surprise. That would have been a great because when you watch Fast and the Furious movies, if you do watch them, it's very all high tech, and they went low tech or no tech, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So it would have been great. That would have been a great surprise, but I think they just showed too much in the trailer, and I'm kind of disappointed in that. I think it would have been I would have been a lot happier with the movie. Not that I wasn't happy. I just as a movie going experience, I thought as if I would have enjoyed it more had I not known that.
So Skyscraper, last year's one of the 2 movies he released last year.
Was it only 2?
Yeah, it was Rampage and
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
Okay.
In that movie, spoiler alert, he stops a door on a supposedly Uber tech top of the line building. He stops the door from closing with his prosthetic foot.
Leg.
Right. So that was more laughable than any of the shit I saw today in Hobbs and Shaw.
Here's the reason why.
Go
Because
ahead.
the whole
Me.
movie in Hobbs and Shaw is total bullshit paquete.
No, you don't think.
So it's all like under the umbrella, like the suspension of disbelief is set rather low. You're like, I don't believe any of this, so might as well go with all the fucking fun.
Correct.
In Skyscraper, they try to make it seem a lot more believable, which is still not believable, but it's still a lot more believable.
She saves the day by rebooting.
But you don't know that when you do the leg thing, you haven't gotten that part yet.
Okay.
So I'm not disagreeing with you that that was less believable than the rest of Hobbs and Shaw. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying the reason why is because the bar was set real fucking low.
You're just
with Hobbs and
explaining
Shaw.
to me why I'm wrong.
It's not that you're wrong. I'm explaining to you why it is that what you said was correct. I'm literally giving you credit. Well, Jesus.
That's not what I heard.
Oh my God, your condition sucks. Your condition is hot garbage.
Hey, don't be mean, all right? Go give me my chocolate. What else happened this weekend? I don't know what else happened this weekend because I made a point
Well,
to not
Epstein
watch.
hung himself.
Allegedly. I really don't understand why it's even a conversation. Like, he was a sack of shit. He killed himself. If he killed
I
himself,
feel bad for the victims, man. They didn't get their day in court.
okay,
that sucks.
But yes, I agree with that. But however, I think that this thing has turned into, like, him killing himself just escalated it to another level where justice will be served, like the evidence and everything else. And I don't know.
Is there still a trial? There's no trial.
No,
That's it.
like what are they gonna do? Put the fucking rope on trial? Like, no.
Well,
What?
not a trial. They put the rope on a parade.
Correct. I don't know.
Is it a rope? That can't be shoelaces. How the fuck did a sheet have to be bed sheets?
Well, the whole controversy is that he was supposed to be on suicide watch. Monitored.
Ironically enough, if he did hang himself with bed sheets, which I'm assuming he did, because they won't give him shoelaces.
Correct.
Ironically enough, had he been an immigrant, they would have given him tin foil, and then he wouldn't have been able to kill himself.
True.
So it's the fact that he was a rich white guy that ended up biting him in the ass at the end.
Yeah. And you know,
You don't see any of those immigrants killing themselves with the tin foil, do you?
No, they're just dying.
They're just fucking dying on their own,
Correct. On their own agenda.
On
you know,
God's agenda.
You know what I wanted to scream?
assholes.
I was in the Mexican pavilion, the Mexico pavilion on Saturday.
In Epcot.
Okay. And
You
I'm
just
walking
can't say-
in.
You can't just say
I was
Mexican
getting to
pavilion.
it, man. You just jumped the fucking train.
Okay. Why? Because I'm Hispanic. I jump trains to get to this
my
country.
God. You didn't jump a train to get here, you dumbass. And we're in line. Christy and I are in line inside to get ourselves a drink inside the bar of the Mexico Pavilion, and I saw a lot of white people in line for.
Oh,
drinks.
dude, white people love Hispanic culture, and they love reaping the benefits, and they love all of that shit. They love getting their fucking fruits and vegetables at a fucking low price. They love getting that shit. They don't understand. Right. They want to send every immigrant back, and they're taking our jobs, but they don't understand that if they do that, your strawberries are gonna cost way fucking more because you're gonna have to pay American people, white people, the same to do that fucking hard ass manual labor. Right. And they're gonna understand. Cinco de Mayo comes around, and every fucking white person I know, they love the giant sombreros and the fucking cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, and they do all that fucking bullshit. They put on stupid ponchos and they fucking go crazy. White people love that shit. I meet more white people that blatantly do fucking. It's borderline brown face what they fucking do. They put on fake mustaches and fucking sombreros, and they, Arriba, and they do all that shit. I mean, more people celebrating Cinco de Mayo than I do Hispanic people. And I live in fucking Miami.
Yeah.
Every time I'm on a cruise ship, every fucking cruise staff, let me not say that. Every time I go somewhere, like I've been to white fucking places. Marco Island. I was in Marco Island, and it was like all fucking, everybody in Marco Island is white. And I was there from Cinco de Mayo. I was doing a show, and everybody, and that was the first time, this is like maybe 5-6 years ago, and that was the first time I realized, I was like, this is actually racist, right? This is actually like,
yeah,
at least fucking prejudice. Like at the very least, it's prejudice as fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is weird.
Well, back to my original comment, what I wanted to do was fucking climb on top of the little pyramid of Mexico and be like, hey, assholes, build a wall around this. But that would have gotten me thrown into Mickey jail. And Christy's nervous, so. But yeah, there are a lot of white people enjoying the culture. Mm-hmm. So it's just curious to me.
A lot. They like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Thieves. You bunch of thieves.
I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, that's from a movie.
Oh, which one?
Now I got to think about it.
Well, can you think about it on your way to get my chocolate?
Bunch of thieves.
Guess not.
All right, I'll get you a fucking chocolate. Keep talking.
Oh my God. Can I just talk about how much of a joy it is to spend the day with this man? It's just so good. So good. I don't know. Jordan Woods is trending again, but I don't give a fuck about her, so we're going to skip over that. Alanis Morissette had her third child, so congrats to her. She named her son Winter Mercy. Did you catch that, Neri? What? That Alanis Morissette, she named her son Winter Mercy. He said, oh boy. Which is funny because if you watch The Long Shot, that's a little throwback. Yeah. So today was fun. I'm not looking forward to waking up tomorrow, but that's that's normal. Huh? He's yelling at me from his dining room that the fancy chocolate comes in a fancy tin. This is all. He's under the impression, you guys, that this is happening and we're making you sit through this. And I'm, because it was Neri's idea. He thinks that I won't be able to tell the difference between the Hershey special dark chocolate and or whatever brand it is that he picked out. I'm convinced that I am because it's my go-to treat when I'm going through my stuff. But he's convinced that I'm wrong. So he's walking back now and we're going to find out in just a second.
I don't think that what you said was accurate.
You never fucking do. So please.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I should have totally. All right. All right. So one of these pieces of chocolate.
One of these things is not like the
other.
other.
The whole point to me was to say that not that she wouldn't be able to recognize which is your favorite chocolate. I never thought that you wouldn't be able to recognize which is your chocolate. I thought, what if you do a blind taste test to see which one you like better? That way, maybe you do recognize yours, but maybe you're able to say this one does taste better. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm just saying you were so gung-ho on like, this is the only chocolate that I'm going to get. I'm like, but why not experiment and get more?
Because if I know what's going to make me happy, why would I roll the dice today? Today is not the day.
It's not rolling. I didn't say get one instead of the other. I didn't say don't get yours. I'm like, well, get this one too. You're only getting one bar of chocolate? That's supposed to last you 4 to 5 days? Are you already fucking... I mean, how...
No, the fact that I'm in front of you, I've paced myself because by myself, that shit would have been gone already.
All right. So...
May I have the first taste, please? Why are you breaking them into baby pieces?
Don't look at it. It's a blind taste test. You fucking looked at it. Jesus.
I didn't look at it.
Give me it back. Give it back. You fucking looked at it. You fucking literally looked at it. I'm right in front of you. You're going to fucking tell me you didn't look at it.
I didn't see anything.
You're the fucking worst.
Stop yelling at me.
The worst.
Oh my God. You're so fucking annoying. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. So what, I eat it now?
Yes. Crazy idea. Now you eat it.
Okay, here I go. Oh, man. All right. That was Hershey's special dark chocolate for sure.
Okay, you want some water? When I say okay, I don't mean that you're right or wrong. I just want to make sure.
No, I understand. You're going to... It's probably the same brand.
I should give you the same fucking one.
That's the other one. This is the other one.
Okay, what's the taste? Which one do you like better? Forget about which is which. I'm asking which one do you like better. It's never about brand recognition with me. It's about which one do you like better.
Okay, you're repeating yourself. Let me think.
Am I?
Yeah. I like the first one better.
Okay. So you like the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was Hershey's. The first one was Hershey's.
The first one was Hershey's.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I didn't doubt that you would know which was which.
I'm not attacking you. I'm just
it seems
saying
like you're attacking me.
Oh my God. Do you have your period? Because BFFs, they sync up.
So here's the other chocolate. You could do with it as you wish. Just make sure you eat it and don't let my dogs eat it, please. As you know, fatal for dogs.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I thought it was like that. It's like, isn't it like depends? Like it doesn't. It's not for every dog.
No, it's fatal. Obviously, on the dosage, if it's a huge fucking Great Dane and you give them that little corner that I just gave you, they're not gonna die. But they're not gonna do well with it either.
I feel like Great Dane dogs are more intimidating than pit bulls.
That's silly, but okay. They're just big, goofy dogs.
They look like fucking horses, like miniature horses.
Well, they're huge, but they're not more intimidating.
To me, they are.
Pit bulls look like devil dogs.
You want to try calling Steph again?
Did she reply to you?
I don't know. She's read my message, so she's looking at her phone.
I guess.
We have to talk about the Vogue issue, and I can't talk to you about it.
Fuck that. I don't even know what the hell you guys are talking about.
Well, we're about to figure it out.
What time is it?
She's up.
10:39.
They don't go to sleep till midnight.
Yeah, but they're doing moving shit and closing shit.
worries. She's probably just busy.
That's what I told you, and you said call her anyway. She's up. She read my message.
I thought that was a sign she was available. I was mistaken. Go ahead and hang up on her. If it's making you this angry.
Hello.
Oh, yay. Hi.
Hi.
I was about to give up on you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were you sleeping? Did I wake you up? I mean, did Nary wake you up?
Why you gotta blame this on me? I'm just calling her because you told me to call her.
I know, but it's your phone that's calling her. Jesus.
So if I would have woken her up, it would have been my fault.
No.
But you did not wake me up. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Were you rebooting?
Shut up.
No.
Leave her alone. No. She's doing adult stuff, man. Take it easy. Hey, I have a question.
Okay.
I wanted to bring up the September Vogue issue, but before we talk
Don't
about...
get me started.
No, but I'm gonna get you started, bitch. That's why we called you. But before
Literally the whole point of this phone call.
But before that, Nary needs you to explain to him, because I feel like I won't do it justice. Nary needs you, Nary, and actually every single listener needs you to explain to them why the September Vogue issue is a big deal.
Well, first of all, I didn't even know that it was. She didn't even say Vogue September in the chat. She said, "Oh, I got many opinions on the September issue," and I was very dumbfounded because I was like, "That's the most." What the
September issue of what?
Of what? There's like a billion things. Like, what are we fucking talking about?
All right, so she's gonna explain it to us. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean, the blanket term, the September issue, refers to Vogue's September issue. And the big deal about Vogue September issue is really that it's just like the fall fashion preview. So it's usually the biggest issue. It's usually like over 500 pages. There's like millions of dollars in advertising spent on it. There's like a year's worth of preparation that goes into it. But the big deal about it is that it's the fall fashion preview.
So now you understand, right?
Oh, no. Now I know what it is. I still don't understand why it's a big deal.
Well, because for people like Stephanie, for people like...
It's one of the highest selling issues of the year.
Forget about the selling...
money maker.
Yeah, forget about the selling...
It's a money maker.
It's for people that are into fashion that will sit there and watch Fashion Week. Of all the fashion weeks, it's a big deal. So
which I do.
Right. So Stephanie is the prime audience for this. Now, I know that this much.
Boring.
All right, go ahead. That was Missy.
Usually
that was not Missy, you fucking asshole.
Usually the September issue, like, cover person is like a big deal. So like in the past, like it's been Beyonce, it's been Lady Gaga, it's been like either of someone that's known for
Kim and Kanye.
They didn't do a September issue. I think they were like March or April, but they have been on the cover. But it's usually somebody that's either really influential in fashion or in pop culture, or both.
Correct. So now that Nary's sat through the explanation, and we now both know the same amount of information, because I don't ever buy this issue or pay attention to Vogue.
I buy it every year. I will not be buying it this year.
Why is that, Stephanie?
Ooh,
tell us.
It's not so much about who is on the cover. It's more about like the interview and like the smoke that was blown up this person's ass.
Okay, so first of all, the person that's on the cover this year, since like the suspense is not killing anybody that's listening. So the person that's on the cover is Taylor Swift.
That's correct.
And she gave, surprisingly enough, she gave an assholery interview, which she doesn't do anymore.
I know. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
that,
she's so grown now.
3,000 words of her being an asshole. I mean...
So what's your gripe, Steph?
Can I just be real quick? Can I just say that I feel...
Can I just say something?
I feel as if I feel very, what's the word I'm looking for? Hipster-rific when it comes to hating Taylor Swift. Because I've hated her from day fucking one. Because everybody was, I know. That's why I feel like a hipster, because I'm like, I was on the cutting edge, buddy, when everybody was fucking loving her, when she came out.
So you invented avocado toast, and now everyone's on it.
I invented fucking avocado toast when it comes to Taylor Swift hating, because I hated this bitch from day fucking one. In fact, it was so, my hatred for her was so much that I remember getting backlash from people saying she's just a kid. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, she
was just a kid. She first started when she was like 15 years old.
Fine, but I fucking hated her when she was 15. And here's the thing that people don't seem to understand: you can hate 15-year-olds. 15-year-olds, teenagers are fucking assholes, and it's okay to say you're an asshole. And it's not like saying you're an asshole to a 5-year-old, which, by the way, you could also say. I mean, I got to be honest with you.
Really, but really, at 5 years old, the asshole is the parent.
Yeah,
you still have time to correct that.
Yeah. So then, when it came to Taylor Swift, she was in that Valentine's Day movie. She was dating the other Taylor fucking guy,
Taylor Lautner.
Whatever.
That was a publicity stunt. That wasn't real.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's real.
I'm just adding on.
But I hated her from fucking day one when she came out with her first male bashing song, and then she came up with her second male bashing song, and it's like everybody she fucking dated. But I saw that from the fucking jump, and I fucking hated her. And when Kanye interrupted her in the award ceremony, I thought that he was a douchebag for doing that, but I didn't feel bad for her either. I was like, I don't give a fuck, dude. She's a bitch. That's it. And everybody's like, she's a child. How dare you? And I was like, okay, whatever. Fast forward X amount of years later, and I'm just like, okay.
I've been sitting here waiting for you all.
I fucking knew a Foo Fighters way before you guys.
Okay. So.
No, you have not, but okay.
Foo Fighters
anyway,
being she's a bitch thing. But yeah.
Got it.
I don't think she's a bitch. I just think she's annoying as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think she's a bitch. I don't think she's.
She hasn't put out a good album in 10 years.
Oh, I don't even care about her music.
I don't think she's.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
Murdering puppies. Like, I just don't.
No, that would be evil. I don't think she's a fucking.
She's not a terrorist.
Yeah, she's not a psycho. I really don't think she's a psychopath. I think she's
just a terrible person.
She's not a good person. She's not evil. I wouldn't put her in. Yeah, killing babies is killing puppies is a whole other category.
Babies, I said puppies.
You know what? I'd forgive you better for fucking killing babies than killing puppies. I gotta be honest with you.
Okay. So Steph.
Moving on.
But Neri doesn't know the backstory behind the Kim Kanye Taylor narrative. So in like 30 seconds or less.
No, don't give her time. Let me explain it. Just explain it.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to help you out.
Well, it kind of even really stems back to like him interrupting her at the VMAs back in like 2008 or whenever the hell that was.
Kanye.
There was always an
Kanye.
animosity.
You mean Kanye.
Correct. I do mean Kanye, because who else interrupted her? But yeah, so it kind of stems back to that, and then like over time, they made amends and they were friends, and like at like a VMAs, I can't remember what year it was, maybe like 2014, 2015. She introduced him at a VMA, and she was like my friend Kanye West, and she's like sat next to Kim, and they were all like buddy whatever. So then he started to do like the whole like that song Famous, where he had like the music video with like all the wax figures of these famous people. And she was
song? Hold on, let me try to see if I can find that song as you're talking about.
It's called Bitch I'm Famous.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just called Famous, but the little like tagline of the chorus is I made that bitch famous. And a big chunk of that song is like how like nobody would have known who Taylor Swift was.
Man, I can understand.
Sorry. That's super loud, and I apologize.
If you disconnect your Bluetooth, you're gonna hang up on her.
I'm not disconnecting the Bluetooth. I'm just putting the volume down.
Okay.
Sorry.
At some point, the relationship, like whatever, the friendship like dies down, and they start like fighting again. Because Taylor is so good at letting things go and so good at like moving on and just becoming a better person. And then Kim got sick of it and like called her out, and Kim had like live. So Taylor was upset that she was like that her naked body was like in this video and that she was being talked about in this song.
No, wasn't it that she was that she never agreed to the bitch I'm famous?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Or I made that bitch famous, whatever.
Right, she never agreed to any of this, and then like. There was an episode of Keeping Up with I remember I was watching this as it happened. There was an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians that I was watching, and towards the end of the interview, like Kim was talking about like fake people and like how people pretend to be your friends and then they're not your friends or whatever. And then like as that episode is ending, I'm on my phone watching Snapchat, and Kim is posting the Snapchat videos of like this telephone conversation where Kanye is on the phone with Taylor, basically telling her, like giving her the entire rundown of the song and what they're going to do and his idea for the video. And like you hear her say, oh my God, that's hilarious. It's so tongue in cheek. Like, yeah, let's do it, whatever.
So she was in on it, and she knew what was going to happen,
and
then she didn't like it.
Well, not necessarily that she didn't like it. Either she didn't like it and regretted it later, or she like was just playing victim to the press, like, which is her standard operating procedures. Like, she's never wrong. She's always the victim, and everybody else is just like out to get her.
Correct.
And that's been her narrative since day one.
Correct.
So yeah, what bothers me about the September issue specifically is what has kind of bothered me with the whole like "you need to calm down" video and that whole thing, which is like the authenticity of like her allyship for the LGBTQ community. Community, not committee. And I have mixed feelings about it, but like what bothers me about this article in particular is that it kind of like goes on and on and on about like how she's such a like champion for gay rights, and like really outside of this video and something that she said in 2018 about a senator, like she really hasn't been political at all, which is fine, but it's just kind of like it kind of made everybody question like, is this genuine or not? Because like you kept your mouth shut and all of a sudden like you're trying to sell records and now you want to be like all up in everybody's face about it.
Yeah.
And then she also goes back to talking about Kim and Kanye and how like 3 years later she's still talking about that and how like they, you know, it changes her forever or whatever. And like, yeah, sure, but like talk about it a year ago, you know, or whatever, like a year after. Like I just feel like there's a timeline and she doesn't like move on from things.
Yeah, I agree. And my gripe with that, the article, is basically everything that you said, but also how she says that you know, the cancel culture that everyone is, you know, so crazy about, that when she went through the thing with Kim and Kanye, that, you know, everybody wanted to cancel her, quote unquote, and that's really dangerous because someone could interpret, and I'm paraphrasing obviously, but somebody could interpret that as like, go kill yourself. And so my issue with that is
it's quite the extreme to take.
It's a really big extreme to take. All she did was air out your bullshit, first of all. Second of all, she was the queen of the girl squad and all of that shit, which was super...
Which was the fakest shit I've ever seen.
Fakest shit ever. Super catty and not at all in line with the idea of inclusivity and like solidarity between women. So she herself has been in a position of power where she has a giant influence over an entire population of an entire demographic, really, and she's fucked up and she's made mistakes and she's given the wrong, you know,
which is okay.
You know,
when you're growing up in the limelight, you're expected, you know, everybody gets shit on Justin Bieber. Like, oh, can you believe he did stupid shit? I'm like, yeah, he's fucking young and stupid. Yeah.
Right. No, and that's fair. But like, there's a huge lack of accountability from her that just makes her like
unlikable. Oh my God, we never do that. But it's true. She's completely unlikable because she keeps bringing this shit up and
she also just, but it's there's a lack of, but it goes back to the lack of accountability. Like she never takes responsibility for like her part in anything.
Correct.
It's always everybody does this to me. Like this guy hurt me. This guy, Joe Jonas broke up with me on a text message, so I'm gonna write a song about him. Like it's all like it's those kinds of things that just for the last 10 years or 15 years or however long she's been around has just been like the same. It's like lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah. And I do.
So you're not buying this issue, Stephanie, because of the interview? Like it's a protest to that?
I mean, I'm sure that my $5 is not going to make.
No. This isn't. I'm not. No. This isn't. This isn't I wasn't trying to be an insulting or belittling situation. I'm literally asking if this is the reason why you're not buying the issue. I
mean, I don't think that she's. I mean, not that I think that a bunch of people are the best of examples, but like I just don't. I have a problem with people that like just don't take responsibility for their actions and just kind of like play the victim. I've never liked that ever. Like in my entire life, I've never fallen for that shit, and I just feel like she perpetually does it, and then like people just buy into the bullshit, and I just don't want to buy into the bullshit.
Well, yeah, and this never happens, but I totally agree with Steph, and I think that, you know, she annoys me because I think that she's misusing her influence, she's misusing her platform. She has had if she was making better music, if I'm being completely honest, if she was making better music, I could excuse her shitty behavior and her, her douchiness, but she hasn't. All her music's been shit for the past 10 years. In my opinion, her last good album was Speak Now. We've talked about it ad nauseum.
She's had good songs. I know this because I've been jamming to what the kids call bangers without knowing that it was Taylor Swift, and then when I find out it's Taylor Swift, I'm like, God damn it, now
you
I
feel
Taylor
dirty.
Swift.
Now it's in my gym playlist.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm one of those guys that just listens to the song without caring about who.
You are.
I don't really care.
But Speak Now is an album like that you can listen to.
But I'm not going by album. I'm just going by singles.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about album, and the last album that you can play from start to finish without wanting to skip any songs, in my opinion, was Speak Now, and that was 10 years ago. So I don't. If she was making better music, then I could probably be like, yeah, well, whatever, like, But she hasn't earned it, in my opinion, as far as you're putting good music out. Like, Reputation was supposed to be this massive fucking, like, slap in the face, and she was super dramatic because she gave no interviews, and she went on a stadium tour, and that was supposed to be her vindication.
Was she trying to duplicate what Beyonce did? Was she came up with that when she did Lemonade? It was a surprise album. That she's
been accused lately, like in the last 2 years, of like ripping off Beyonce. There was the Billboard. Her Billboard music performance was like eerily similar with like the whole marching band thing to Beyonce's Coachella performance. And I'm not a big champion for Beyonce either, but like if somebody, and then also the You Need to Calm Down video was like kind of almost, so I saw an article where it was like a side-by-side comparison, and that was like, there was like shot for shot almost the exact same video. And I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan, but like also don't rip off other artists. Like she does it first, like don't go near it.
Well, here, as an artist, I have conflicting feelings about that, because I feel as if you're not, don't lift the music. I guess don't lift the actual art form of the music. Hence, as a comedian and somebody who does, who steals a joke, I've been a huge and loud advocate for, that's fucking wrong, and that's whatever. I don't. Once you're a joke thief, you're dead to me. Unless you admit it and you apologize, and then we move on. But with that said, I don't know how I feel about, there's certain things of like, for example, Beyonce dropping the Lemonade album was a complete surprise. Like nobody knew that she was coming. She dropped it, and she dropped like.
And that was the second time she did that.
And that was and was
right.
it
she
because she did
in 2013. She did Beyonce the album she did the same thing she did for Lemonade, but Lemonade was a movie, and the album in the album Beyonce in 2013, it was every single video and every single song on the same day.
Yeah, so that's what. So I feel as if when somebody does that, I feel as if when Beyonce did that and it became a huge success, that it was right, because I don't know shit about Beyonce's music past 2010, and the fact that I know about Lemonade and that was a complete shock and surprise. I feel that once you start doing that, you start setting a precedent in the industry,
no,
and then so that it's like when like Louis C.K. he was the first one to drop his special for $5 online. Like it was literally, he was the first major comedian to say, I'm not putting this on Netflix, I'm not putting this on HBO. You want to buy it, you could buy it off of my website. Here, it's for $5. And he very strategically chose $5 because he thought $10 would be too much because people would want to pirate it. $5 is just enough money that people don't care about spending $5.
Right.
And enough people did, and he got millions of dollars, and then every comedian started wanting to do the same formula. I don't feel like that's a bad thing.
I don't necessarily have the issue with her like dropping a secret album. What people are, I think, having the issue with is that in as far as like performance, which is the actual artistry, other than like obviously your songwriting, but in music there's the songwriting and then there's your performance, your stage performance. She's taking things from Beyonce. The people dropping the secret album, like people are doing.
Yeah,
that
like now that's a thing because
fine.
Beyonce did it. But what Stephanie's referring to is like
Eminem did it last year.
Yeah. So stylistically speaking, when it comes to a video, which is just as important as any other element nowadays, like for the past 20 years.
Well, I kind of throw the video into the whole performance because it's a visual performance, right?
Right.
So I kind of like loop it into the whole same branch.
So it's just as important as everything else So you are Taylor Swift. You have the capacity and the team to help you come up with an original idea. And when it's like a cousin to what another person is doing, then like where's your original? Where's your?
I don't have a
originality?
problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with maybe the videos being shot by shot or whatever, like being very eerily similar. I don't have a problem with the sales technique on how to get there. Like there's been a new blueprint made by Beyonce, and it was successful with her. So get that. Now here's the thing: do we know? And I don't know. With that said, do we know if this was the same choreographer for both videos that we're talking about?
I doubt it.
Because if it was, then that's kind of like hiring the same spirit coach to teach you the same cheer, and you don't know that. And then you're just
is that a Bring It On reference?
Of course it is.
Way to
It is a
go.
Bring It On reference.
Okay. So, but yes, I agree with you. However, Beyonce's homecoming album and concert documentary, whatever, on Netflix, it's the entire visual artistry of that performance is the entire structure. It centers around the concept of a marching band, and it's like they're performing a homecoming show for the homecoming game in a college football game, right? That's the concept behind it. So if you take that concept and you Taylor Swift it, then you're not really going off of what she's already done. You're copying and pasting the exact same thing she just did, but putting your name on it. It's plagiarizing in an oversimplified way. And that's the least of her annoying habits, is I think the thesis here is that she's just petty and annoying, and she whines about shit, and then she can never ever. I've never ever heard her.
I don't even mind the petty, because like I live for a petty bitch, but own your petty.
That's what I was going to say, is that she's never come out and said, you know what, or even if you're going to own your shit, just say, or if you're going to apologize for once, or just say, you know what, Kanye, you're right. I did know about it. I fucked up. I'm sorry, whatever. Maybe I didn't like the delivery. There was 10 different ways for her team to spin it and feed her what to say. And the fact that she keeps grudging it up like this big traumatic event in her life, which it was a big moment in her career, because people were very convinced that that's it. She was fucking done. But, you can't, and especially now in the state of affairs of the entire, forget the country, the entire planet. I don't give a fuck that you felt like the cancel culture came after you, Taylor Swift. There's a lot fucking more serious things to be concerned about and draw attention to than your fucking hurt feelings. Like, you're in the business. This is what happens. And, it's not like having a disagreement with a coworker at work. It stays there. You're a public figure, and you're not just a public figure, but you're Taylor Swift and all the mystique that goes along with it. Like, fucking handle it and stop bitching about it already. I can't handle it. So,
well, that's her whole thing. I don't know. I just never been a fan of hers.
Yeah, like to you, you're probably not surprised.
I'm not surprised at all, and I'm not surprised. I don't care, and I haven't liked her from the jump, because she's always been that
whiny kid.
That whiny kid, and again, like I said, I've even been the guy who when what's his name?
I don't know.
Fucking A, Justin Bieber.
He
did bratty shit and did awful things, like peeing in the fucking cleaning guy's bucket or whatever the fuck.
He was being a kid. I was never shocked by that.
He was being an asshole kid, and I get it. I'm not defending it. I'm not saying boys will be boys. I'm not using that bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm saying asshole kids will be asshole kids.
Correct.
Asshole young kids will be asshole young kids. And uber rich, privileged
kids will do all kinds of stupid
and
shit.
When Chris Brown, before the Rihanna thing, so I want to make a clear distinction.
Yes, please make that distinction.
Before the Rihanna thing, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, right? And he was a former baseball player, and he was coming up in the system, and he was projected to be in the pros until he blew out his arm in the minor leagues. So we're having a conversation, right? And Chris Brown comes on. We're at Subway. Chris Brown comes on. I go, yeah, this guy, whatever. And I'm like, this fucking guy. This guy could dance. And my friend says, yeah, but I heard he's kind of a dick. I heard he's like very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Aggressive?
No, not aggressive. Like, I'm the shit. Like,
arrogant?
Arrogant. That's the word. And to which my response was, and again, this is not about the Rihanna thing. This is prior to that happening. And I said, yeah, wouldn't you be? I think he was like 19 or 20 at that time that this conversation was taking place, and I was like, or maybe even 18. I forgot how old he was, but I said how old he was. I was like,
Chris Brown's first single was when he was 16.
Yeah,
so he could have been very.
He could have been 18, 19. I said, the kid's 18, 19 years old. I go, do you know? First of all, he's a good-looking kid. He's 18. He's uber good-looking. Absurdly talented. That's when he was making videos. Again, I haven't seen a music video in fucking God knows how long. That's why when Missy was like, videos is a big part, I'm like, I haven't seen a music video fucking forever, but I'm the wrong demographic here because I'm still like, Biggie Smalls. But Chris Brown was making videos, and it was his dance moves. And I think it was right. I think this conversation took place right before one of the VMAs when Justin Timberlake came out. After a Chris Brown performance, he goes, "Oh my God, that's the next generation because I can't do those kind of things anymore. Like I'm too old or whatever." That's something that was said by Justin Timberlake about Chris Brown, and again, that's prior to the Rihanna thing. And I remember telling my friend, "I'm like, dude, he's 18, 19 years old, super good looking, super rich, and super talented." I'm like, and I was like, "Ray, you were a baseball player. You're gonna tell me you weren't fucking cocky?" And I'm like, and you weren't even a pro yet. You were gonna be a pro, and you were super cocky. I was like, I go, look, I'm at that point I was maybe, I don't know how old I was. I was like 28, 29. I was like, dude, I'm 28, and you know, if I got fame now, it'd be different than when me getting fame at fucking 16. That's crazy talk. Right. So when these people do stupid shit, when you hear things like Chris Brown's arrogant, again, not up the Rihanna thing, Chris Brown's arrogant, or fucking Justin Bieber is being an asshole and driving like an asshole and rent a car down Miami, down South Beach. You're like, yeah, he's an asshole. He's rich. That's a kid thing. To me, that's all within. It's understandable. Again, not saying he has free range and he could do whatever the fuck he wants.
You're not justifying.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just explaining like, oh, that's what else did you expect from this kid? But what I don't like is. I don't like when somebody is flat out, you're getting into relationships with famous people and then making music about them, and it's like, and it feels like man bashing. Yeah. And I've never been one to, like somebody gave me this example and they go, oh, well, you don't care when Eminem talks about his ex-wife, and I'm like, yeah, but he's talking about one person. That's just one fucking person. He's not doing it like to every. Yeah,
there is a double standard to what she's been able to get away with in her artistically, because I feel like, and I agree with you, because I feel like if you take away the fact that she's a girl writing about a breakup with a guy, if a guy were to have his entire career mostly based off of what he has to say about previous encounters with women, famous hookups, famous women.
There's a difference between famous, because you know what I mean? Like, you're Ed Sheeran, you're making music about, breakups, but we don't know these women because they're not in the limelight. So it's not the same thing.
Correct.
It's not the same thing as saying, we know who he's talking about.
Yeah. So like if, I don't know, if Justin Bieber, everyone he's ever dated, he makes a song about, and
he kind of did.
Okay, I don't know anyone else. Just pick somebody, but they do this.
Love Yourself was about Selena Gomez.
If they do the same thing, but that's Selena.
Is that correct, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it was
were you not paying attention? You just said yes.
No, I'm paying attention. I'm not. There's nothing else going on in my environment. You have my undivided attention.
But with Justin Bieber, it was like his music was party music or about Selena Gomez, and then now he's married. So there wasn't a string of relationships that you can tie together which song is about which song. You can do that with Taylor Swift's music. And if a man would not be
a conversation on Friday where like I was telling somebody, I'm like, I could go down the list of her singles and tell you what guy it's
correct. And if a man would not be he would not have a career if he tried to do that. So that double standard,
especially nowadays.
Nowadays,
it's different, like in the 90s when like rappers were all talking about bitches and hoes and stuff, and that again. Not
but you didn't know them.
Yeah, you didn't know them.
They were just bitch. Like the problem was with the word bitch or hoe. It wasn't the fact that they were talking about like Janet Jackson or fucking Mariah Carey if she was dating someone. Like it wasn't. You couldn't pin it.
They're also not like naming them because like the one about John Mayer is literally called Dear John.
Right. It's it's not. It's stupid. It's like, it's gross how obvious this woman has been about shaming or cashing in on her relationships. A man would not be, you would not have a career if you tried to do. Look at all the shit. And I'm not saying that it's just that it wasn't disgusting and that he shouldn't kept his mouth shut, but look at all the shit that John Mayer got when he talked about Jessica Simpson in one fucking interview. In one line, he got years of shit for what he said about her.
I know what he said, but just for the listener, what did he say in that interview? What did he say? I don't know what the fuck. I don't know.
You don't know what he said?
No, I don't know what he said. I really don't know. I was being sarcastic, like, I know, but for the sake of the listener, like, I don't fucking know. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, well, he made some kind of like indirect comment about her vagina, basically. I don't remember word for word.
Was it pretty? I envisioned it pretty. Please tell me it was pretty.
I don't think that he was characterizing whether it was beautiful or not, but I don't know. I don't know what it was called. I'll Google it, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, it would not be allowed, and that's a problem. That's a problem, especially if you want to level the situation on a bigger scale. If you want to level the situation where it's a conversation and not an us versus them thing when it comes to having these very complicated conversations about the patriarchy and women and men and the double standards and all of that. All of this shit.
I don't even care if she wants to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, all of this shit we're trying to undo, that's kind of, it's a really childish thing that people could fall back on and go, well, look at this. Oh, this is what it is. She said.
He said.
Hold on. I'm looking it up.
I don't even care if she wants to write about like her exes. But like, why do they all have to be like terrible? Like, why can't you write about like the nice
this is
that's the thing that gets me. She's never once written a song where she goes,
it's never positive.
But it's not, forget about positive. She's never once said, I fucked up that relationship. She's never said, I fucked up. Not only maybe not I fucked up the whole relationship. Maybe it's I fucked up. Even Eminem has said, I have fucked up and that led you to do something crazy. Like that led you to fucking, you know what I mean? And like he literally said in one of his songs, Eminem, saying that he's sorry that he took out a gun at the club, which he got arrested for. But I just saw you making out with that other guy and I lost my mind. Like that's him saying I fucked up because you know what I mean? I lost it. Like she is never, that's a problem that I have when, you know what I mean? It's like when you have a conversation with that friend who's eternally single and they keep talking about every relationship and every, you know, let's just say, let's use a guy, for example. And a guy says, yeah, this girl's a bitch and that girl was crazy and this girl was, and you keep hearing this trend and it's never, I fucked up. It's never this. It's always their fault, and I just don't like when people don't acknowledge that. Hey, this is a two-way street, and maybe they ultimately fucked up the most. But there has really when you date 7 people and all 7 people are assholes. What's the common fucking denominator in those 7 relationships? Like, honest to God, what's the common denominator aside from all of them being famous? What's the common denominator? It's you. So you're gonna tell me you did nothing in 7 relationships, or you were fucking perfect there every time? Like that, nobody does that. Nobody bats 1,007 fucking relationships in a row.
And she does have like power. Like that's like I don't know if this is outrageous, but this is kind of like an abuse of power on her ends because you could really you know, like use it against him and do the same kind of shit that she's complaining about, because you know you could interpret that as go fuck yourself or you can go kill yourself with the cancel culture.
How about the Dear John song about him fucking being like, you know what, I'm gonna kill myself? What if that would have happened?
What if that would have happened? Then it would have been like, oh, but you know, he had his own issues. There would have been tons of way to justify it. But going back to the John Mayer comment, I found it when he was talking about Jessica Simpson. He said, and I quote, and this is the thing that he got tons of shit for. He said, that girl for me is a drug, and drugs aren't good for you if you do lots of them. Yeah, that girl's like crack cocaine to me. Sexually, it was crazy. That's all I'll say. It was like napalm, sexual napalm.
That's right. He did call her sexual napalm.
There are people in the world. Wait, it gets better because I forgot the other half of what he says. He goes, there are people in the world who have the power to change our values. Have you ever been with a girl who made you want to quit the rest of your life? Did you ever say, I want to quit my life and just fucking snort you? If you charge me $10,000 to fuck you, I would start selling all my shit just to keep fucking you. He said that about Jessica Simpson.
Which, by the way, this is the very first time
in 2006, 2007.
This is the very first time I'm listening. I'm ever hearing or reading about this comment. Again, I'm not a John Mayer fan. I don't fucking follow.
Okay.
So with that said, this is the very first time I'm hearing it. My takeaway from this comment is she's got the bomb ass pussy. This is a fucking compliment. why is he getting shit for this? This is a compliment to a woman. This is him saying this is, oh my God, this is brilliant. Like that's, I am so happy to hear this because I always had Jessica Simpson on a pedestal of like super attractive, like fucking women.
And now you know she's a good lady.
And I know she's a good lady. I'm like,
she's gorgeous. I don't blame her.
I'm like, bravo. Thank you. Because that's the worst thing when you hear somebody famous that's fucking uber good looking and they go, and you hear stories of their whack lay, like, oh.
Right. But I think my point of bringing this up was
I don't think that's a topic that you don't want.
That's not where I wanted to take the conversation. But now that you, now that you've had this spiritual revelation with Jessica Simpson, my tip of the hat.
I'm happy that we could help you out there.
Yeah, tip of the hat to you. But I think my whole point is that he got shit for that comment, a lot of shit for years, and he was just like, again, and from like somebody like Neri, like a perspective like Neri's would be like, oh, he was just complimenting her. This girl has made an entire career out of, if you date her, she will write about you. And that's not cool because I am a writer and I wouldn't expect somebody to want to date me if they knew I was going to fucking jump on my blog and be like, dear, today so-and-so.
I don't care if you write about somebody that you date. We write about what we know, right? As performers, as entertainers, we write about what we know. I'm not disagreeing with her writing about people that she dates, her experiences. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm disagreeing is like there doesn't seem to be a fair shake in her songs. There doesn't seem to be a I fucked up and then that caused him to go crazy, or I could have done this better and whatever, or and again, I'm not saying that she has to do that with every song because maybe some guys are just we've all had that relationship where it's completely their fault. Right, Stephanie, you're in that relationship now, and
wow,
it's tough. If you guys don't laugh, and then it makes it serious, then it makes it real. And it's in a hat, man.
They don't know about that.
So that was a joke to the audience. Fuck yourself, Jesus. But my point is, we've all had
that was
to the audience.
Fuck yourself, Jesus.
Yeah. Not fuck yourself, Jesus. I mean, fuck yourself.
Jesus.
How dare you speak that way about our Lord and Savior?
Your Lord and Savior. You speak for yourself, madam.
All right.
Anyways, my whole point. Some of us worship.
He is everyone's Lord.
Yeah. So my point is that we've all been in that. Everybody's had a relationship where it was completely the other person's fault. That's fine, but it's not. Wow. Holy shit.
Are you okay? Are you dying?
I think that was God intervening because I was getting ready to say something and I choked for real.
Did you choke on the irony? So my point is that it's not. Statistically speaking, the odds are against the fact that it's going to be the other person's fault, 100% fault every single time, 6, 7, 8 times in a row. Statistically speaking, it's not probable.
No, I understand. So I'm a firm believer in that.
So that's my issue with her. My issue with her is not that she writes, because we all write about what we know, and it's dumb to not. Like as a comedian,
yeah.
I've told my wife, I'm like, the divorce album is gonna be fucking amazing.
Oh my God,
Neri. My divorce album. Oh my God, the amount of material that I'm gonna have.
Okay,
it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay, so what I would say about that is that even if you are in the rare position where the facts are on your side, it's not just a perspective of he said, she said, or whatever. I do believe that there's also a level of responsibility for the person who's not quote unquote at fault to kind of do some digging and figure out their role in the whole situation. And there's that being said, like, yeah, there could be things that are done to you or whatever that are not cool, and you're definitely not in the wrong for how whatever XYZ when you want to point something out in a relationship. But there's a lesson is my point, and she could very well, like, on her platform of wanting to be such a great role model, such a wholesome role model to all these young girls, you could use that to teach. It's a teachable moment. Be like, yeah, well, you know what, this happened, but this is what I learned.
Thank you.
Or
that's what I'm saying. Thank you, everybody.
And
like that's
there's not one song where she's going. As much as I get stuck on Speak Now, there's a song on there. Watch that, mind you, 10 years ago I was completely different space, but so I wasn't listening to it with the same ears, but I don't forget the name of the song, but there's a song there that she's talking to a guy that she likes on his wedding day. And I think the song's called Speak Now, actually. And she's trying to convince the guy to leave his fiance at the altar on his wedding day to be with her.
Yeah.
Where's the fucking, if a guy did that, like, it would be over.
Yeah.
So I do believe that there is, a fucked up double standard here. And, and overall, like, that is part of the issue. But I'm personally just sick of fucking hearing her complain. Like, if you did rise above it the way that you're proclaiming, if you really have grown or whatever the fuck, if you're that so much better than everyone, all the quote unquote haters that she has, then do something with your time other than fucking go back in time to reharp situations. If you really want to move on from them, then stop bringing them up. What the fuck are you doing? And for somebody like Stephanie, who is a Vogue, aficionado, it's a slap in the face to have this bitch on the cover, on the biggest issue of this magazine's publication every year, and what she's talking about is this shit.
Right.
Like,
I would have rather had Beyonce. Beyonce's had a huge year.
Has she? What's she done this year?
Homecoming.
Yeah. She did Homecoming. She did Homecoming and she did Lion King.
She did Lion King.
Right. Anything good though?
You haven't watched Homecoming.
I haven't.
Cockahead.
I would have said that if she would have been. She could have been in the best movie ever.
Had, like, Beyonce's also had like a very successful year, and like I feel like and that's just the first person that popped into my head. I'm sure if I thought about it, I could come up with 5 other people that would be better.
People, who people, honestly, in my opinion, I would, if I was like Nicki
Minaj has had not Nicki Minaj. Who am I thinking about? Cardi B. Cardi B's had a huge year.
There's tons of people have had.
Was it this year or last year? Am I thinking last year?
It's all bleeding in because now she's got momentum because she's a big supporter of Bernie Sanders and she's trying to get people to register to vote. And her and the people, that's
the funniest thing I've ever heard. That's fucking hilarious.
No,
this is the first time I'm hearing this. And
yeah. She had like a sit down talk with him and everything on they've talked on the phone and she's advocating for people to get educated for this president. Now I know that it's funny, but it's kind of like a good.
Oh no, it's great. I just think it's like one of these things is not like
correct,
the other.
100%. Right. It's like the Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart friendship. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense on paper, but when you see their chemistry, it fucking works.
Why don't you watch the sit down she had with Bernie Sanders? Maybe you'll think it works.
Maybe I will. I'm not saying I won't. But have you ever watched the cooking show with Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's fucking great. It's legitimately like their chemistry is really good together. And I don't know if it's the weed. I'm sure it's the weed, but
always
100%.
But it's one of those things where on paper it sounds ridiculous, and then you watch it and you go, man, these two really work well together.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That they could have gone a ton of different ways, and I just think that I get the annoyance with it. So
right.
It is what it is.
One last thing, and then we can move on from it. I just feel like I think earlier in the year for Vogue, I can't remember which magazine. I want to say it was for Vogue because Anna Wintour loves her, but she did like a little essay called 30 Things I've Learned by the Time I'm 30.
That's right.
And like none of them were like, take accountability for my shit.
Yeah.
And like
it was
at 30 you should know how to hold yourself responsible.
Correct. It was like I learned how to love my curls. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Curls? Hair?
Her hair.
Oh boy.
Now that my curly hair has faded away, now I really miss it. So learn how to love your.
By the way, her curly hair was all perms. Just FYI.
I've
heard that from several people that are like professional hair people that I know that I.
Well, I'm really gonna follow her on my chair.
You could.
I mean, no, I just, enough already. Like, enough with your fucking drama. I just, and especially, like, I just don't, where's her fucking self-awareness of what the fuck is going on the planet for you to have the fucking balls to want to go back to that? Like, shut the fuck up. I don't get it. The same thing with her master tracks when she was going after Scooter a couple of months ago. She's like, oh, because...
Scooter from the Muppets?
No, not that one.
Yes, Scooter from the Muppets.
She was going after the whole drama, and
I just
Yes, he
no,
owns the masters to Taylor Swift.
that's
record.
the fucking. That's gonna be the meme now. That's gonna be the meme when we promote this episode. It's gonna be Scooter
Scooter.
Scooter from the Muppets, and her having a.
Taylor Swift Grammy.
Yeah, she's like pissed because oh my god, he has my masters and all this shit, and
Nobody owns their masters.
nobody owns their masters, and then
own their masters.
and
Michael Jackson did.
and after that, and
I
even
know.
and even so,
Madonna doesn't own her masters.
no, but even so, like you go and you make that accusation, you fucking whine, and then there's receipts proving that maybe you didn't know that you could have bought them, but your fucking dad did, and your people did, and you were notified, and there was like so. Again, like you wanna complain about how people constantly like make you, run you over, and you're just I can't bring myself to give a fuck that Taylor Swift doesn't own her masters, but she thinks it's a fucking thing for her to bring to the table. Bitch, do you know what is going on right now? Like there are much graver issues to fucking have trending with your name next to than whether or not you can own your masters. You have the fucking money, pay for it or shut the fuck up.
But that's why all these people, and like FYI, side note, if you want to own your masters, like re-record the songs and just say the remastered edition. That's what all that shit means. Whenever an artist records a remastered edition of whatever album or whatever songs, like you now are owning those moving forward. So like, yeah, sure, your past ones, but every time, but like you're just re-releasing the same shit. Everybody does that.
It's
whatever.
I can't.
Cállate la boca, ya.
Yeah. Bata.
She's un pedazo. She's what's the word I'm looking for? Not un pedazo de pan. That's someone that's eating away. She's una papa sin sal. That's exactly what she is.
Oh my god, she's un pedazo de hígado is what she is.
To the Spanish listeners, that's a piece of
liver, which tastes like terrible. Hey,
well, it tastes like liver.
Hey, Steph.
Dave says that ella se cree que la última Coca-Cola del desierto.
Correct. Hey, Steph.
To the white listeners, that means you think you're the last Coke in the desert.
Correct. Hey, Steph, have you been to any good concerts lately?
I have. Oh, funny you should mention it.
Really? No, I just
master of segues.
I'm just
But haven't you also been to a great concert?
I did go to a great concert, but
I'm
I think
confused. I thought you guys went to Jonas Brothers.
You're such an asshole. Well, I'm not gonna.
I've been to a Nick Jonas concert, so.
Oh, come on.
I met him. We took pictures. We're friends. We're friends.
Yeah, for sure.
He sent me an invite.
You were at the show with us, right?
He sent me an invite to backstage, but I was like, dude, I got a prior engagement. I'm a professional. I can't
got
do
it.
So
same reason I didn't go to his wedding. I'm like, Nick, come on.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I was saying
I can't go to India.
I can't.
Well,
I could. He was gonna fly me out, but I was like, come on, dude. I'm working on a cruise ship. They got more important things to do.
Steph, I know that you and Christy are gonna recap a moment by moment situation and your experience of the Joe Bros, but I was just bringing it up to get Neri going, and it worked. So.
I mean, I don't know when we're gonna record again. It might be a couple of weeks, so the time may have passed at that point.
I mean, they're going to be on tour for like a year, so I think that's going to be good at any time. But yeah, we sat, Steph. Okay.
So what happens after they played their two good songs? What happens after that?
No, man. Let me tell you something.
Their last album was not good.
Just can I?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. Their last album was not good. I'm not a ballad guy.
She's gonna drive over here.
I'm not a ballad guy, so their last album, I like.
I don't have a bra on, but I will put one on.
Okay.
Why did you say that name?
Oh my God. Okay. So here's the deal.
God,
Ready?
Talk with my vomit in my mouth.
Okay. Well, just drink some water and let me get a word out. Here's the deal. Stephanie and I had two very different experiences at this concert. Primarily, I think because I'm a 2019 Joe Bro fan and she's a 2008 Joe Bro fan. Also, I think
this is correct.
I think it had something to do with the fact that she was seated in the 100 section and I was getting a nosebleed in the 300 sections. But whatever.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
For a $6 difference, by the way.
Yeah.
My tickets were $6 more than the 300.
Correct. I owe her money now, but that's besides the point. The point is that we.
Also, you lied to me when you told me it's free. It was free. Shut up.
What do you mean?
I called
when you called me?
I called her. I called Missy, and she declined the call. And then she texted me immediately. She's like, I'm in a concert right now.
I'm at the Joe Bro concert.
I'm at the Joe Bro concert right now. And then she says, shut up, it was free, don't judge me. Like before I can
Yeah.
reply, before
But
that's our
but that
message.
I will go on record saying that is incorrect because I do owe her money. But I owe her money, but she says that I can pay her back
She's
whenever
gonna
I want.
pay me in $5 installments every week until
every
December,
week,
so.
every 2 weeks, lady.
Yeah, seriously, who gets
So I'm
paid every
sorry.
week?
Simmer
so
down.
Then it'll be till like
No, but
July
whatever.
next
I am gonna pay her back. But the point is that I had like a great time, and I'm not even fully familiar with their entire catalog of music, and it was like a fun concert. It was a good time.
Okay.
But now Stephanie,
Also, like it was nice that it was like the kickoff. To their
yeah, it was a
tour
very
because,
very
like,
first show of their very very
Yeah.
first tour back
and,
since
like,
they
their
broke up
whole
5 years ago.
families- Their whole families were with them.
So-
So not only did you get like a Joe Bros concert, but you also got like you got to see Sansa and you got to see Priyanka Chopra. And,
All right,
like,
I'm in
that
for
stuff.
Sansa. Everything else, gets, whatever. I don't
Sophie
care.
Turner. There was a video of Sophie Turner playing with one of the Jonas Brothers kids, and
Mhm.
during the concert, and it's absolutely adorable. But Stephanie and Christy can give you a better
I have
breakdown of
video
what was
of a
happening
bunch of
at.
things happening.
Yeah. They can give you a better breakdown of what was happening
I
with
was
the
just
with the
disappointed in
wives.
I was disappointed in the album. That's all. I when What's It McCall came out, the first single came out.
We go together.
Yeah, that song was awesome, and I fucking like that song a lot. Like legitimately, non-ironically, I legitimately love that song. I like pop music, and then the rest of the album was fucking ballads, and I'm like, meh.
Well,
Eh.
the
It
point.
reminded me of
Go ahead.
what was the fucking group? I don't even remember their name.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys, where they have one clubber, one banger, and then the rest are all ballads. And I'm like, it's good for what it is. It's just not my cup of tea.
Well,
And I understand that's
your
not
cup
everybody's
of tea is
tea.
broken because the Backstreet Boys have a good catalog of music.
Okay.
So
For what it is, sure.
yeah,
Okay, that's not what I like. I like pop
poppy music.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Anyway, this took the turn.
I disagree, and I think the new album is really good, but that's fine.
I like their new album too.
Sure, but you like
I
Backstreet
do
Boys,
too.
and you like an album that's mostly ballads, and that would explain why you like a new. I'm talking to Missy. She likes Backstreet
okay.
Boys.
I
She
was like,
likes.
don't let me in.
No,
that
no, I
Backstreet
will
Boys
never.
stuff.
I will never accuse you of being.
Thank
of being.
you.
No, I have more
thank
respect
you.
for
I
you, Stephanie.
appreciate
I
that.
have more respect for you.
Thank you.
But Missy likes Backstreet Boys, which is mostly ballads, and that would explain why you like the new Jonas Brothers album because it's mostly ballads. That makes sense. 2 + 2 = 4. I get it. It makes sense.
Okay. I also like NSYNC, but whatever.
Yeah, but not as
It's
much
like
as
I
you
said,
like.
doesn't matter.
But not as much as you like Backstreet Boys. So that's all that
Okay.
matters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
what are you accusing me of exactly?
Of liking music of liking albums that have more ballads than pop songs. That's actually factual.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
All I said was that makes sense.
I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Patriarchy.
My God.
Where's my
She's-
chocolate?
Why is she still bleeding?
But my not having a bra on is gross. Okay, guys, cool.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no,
I know,
I stand. I stand by
that
those
wasn't
comments.
directed
I
towards
stand by those
That
comments.
wasn't directed to you.
I stand by my comments. I know.
Okay. Well, that didn't get weird. Yeah.
I just pictured Stephanie running over here without a bra because she's upset that I talked about.
She wouldn't run over here. She would get in her car.
Walk swiftly.
She wouldn't even do
I'm
that.
not
She'd get in her
walking
car.
Walk swiftly to her
I
car.
would get in my car.
Walk swiftly
that
to her
has
car.
Air conditioning. I would walk swiftly to my car and then put on the air conditioning.
Well,
All right. Well, that was it.
Well, this was fun.
It was
thanks
fun.
for picking up the second time.
Yeah.
No problem.
No, the third time.
What do you mean?
We called her last
You
week.
guys called me 3 times.
Yeah, we called her.
I sent you the voicemail once.
We called her last week.
The last time we recorded
Last
together,
time we
we called you in
recorded,
the middle of the day.
Called
Yeah.
you in the middle of the day. Didn't pick up.
But you called me in the middle of the day. I was at work. Some people have jobs.
Or text or reply. Like, hey, I can't. I mean, you have time to text.
I
fucking
have a job.
memes.
Whatever.
And whatever came up new with the Funko in a box, but whatever. And then I called earlier today, and she didn't pick up that either. So,
Well, she was in the middle of something. She is doing. Congrats on your new property.
did you finish? Did
That's
you?
not happen.
That didn't happen.
No, it's not gonna happen tomorrow. No, it's gonna probably be Wednesday.
So
I don't know.
Can Dave do Geek more?
Oh no! I for the record, I was shaking my head. Don't ask, but he did it
wow.
anyway.
For the record, I'm totally joking. I as I told Dave yesterday over the phone, I completely don't expect you to come. I'm asking to be, as a professional courtesy. I'm not asking to think you're actually make it. You have life things you got to take care of.
But
For the record.
but
I think it's funny to give her shit, to put her on the spot, to put Stephanie on the spot.
cool.
Like, it's funny.
I laughed.
I don't think you did. I don't know. I don't know if you know what laughter means. You keep using this word. I don't think it means what you think it means. So anyway. Well, congratulations anyway. It happened in a couple of days, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in town this weekend or no?
This weekend, yes. This weekend I am in town. I have a show at the Miami Improv.
Oh, that's right. You have a show on Sunday.
Sunday.
I mean, we'll probably have it by the weekend. So, I mean, feel free to stop by. I mean, not listeners. Like, don't random people come to my house.
Well, they don't know. We don't even know your address. So how the fuck would they find you?
I know the address.
Yeah, and you can. I'll see if I can fit it into the fancy address song.
Hang on a second. Neri, you know the address? Their new address?
Yeah.
How the fuck?
Dave.
He doesn't.
I have friends.
I guess I don't.
Yeah. No. If it was up to Steph, I wouldn't even know that she was moving, that she's buying a house. She told me that 6 years after everybody else. She thought I was going to the last one. I'm like, no, your husband told me 3 years ago, so it's fine.
Okay.
So.
Well.
No, he told me the location. He told me whatever. I just don't. I mean, I don't know it off the top of my head. I can't recite it to you, but it's in one of the chats. I'm sure I could go back and scroll.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, if you had your handy dandy address song, you would know it off the top of your head.
I don't know this Andrew song. I don't know what you're talking about.
The address song? Blockbuster used to.
You remember those?
Never mind. You do it.
Go.
You do it.
No. You know you. Go.
Oh boy.
Blockbuster used to do these things where they used to do like emergency contact. Like they would. It was a video that parents paid for so that in case the kids went missing, there was like a video of the kids so that you could be able to.
They would be able to run it on the news or whatever.
Right.
It was after the Adam Walsh thing.
Yeah, and so what Blockbuster taught these kids how to memorize.
No. That wasn't a Blockbuster thing. That was a my mother-in-law thing.
Okay, Dave's
the song
mom
was from my mother-in-law.
Dave's mom taught their kids, her children, how to memorize their address by turning it into a song.
Quick question: does Link ask Alexa for the address?
Alexa, play Indiana Jones. Alexa, what is my
Williams.
address?
Alexa is Link's best friend.
Alexa, what, that sounded like a joke, but it just came off really sad. But Alexa, play John Williams. Alexa, what is my address?
Oh Lordy, Lord.
Does Alexa know your address? Would she be able to tell you?
I don't know.
I don't have an Alexa, so I don't know.
I don't know if she does that.
Ask her.
I don't know. I mean, I have 3 of them, and I don't know.
Go ask.
So. No, they're packed away right now.
Oh shit, that would be fucking good. Alexa, what's my address?
But why does Alexa need to know your address if she's in your address? Like she's physically in the.
Well, in all fairness, it's not exactly the same thing. I get it, but I've been guilty of when somebody asks me for my phone number, I go blank. I'm like, it's because I don't call myself.
Because we don't need to memorize phone numbers
because I don't call myself, and I'm like,
Well, it's not about calling yourself because you didn't really call yourself before cell phones. You just had to memorize numbers.
No, but you had to memorize a number. Yeah,
SOL.
but since I never call myself, why would I ever call? You know what I mean? Like I knew my house number as a kid growing up. A, because it was uber easy, and B, because I had to call it. If I'm never calling myself, I never have to know my own phone number.
You're like calling from a payphone to get picked up.
Yeah. But now this is not recent. And when I say I've been guilty of doing this,
for those of you that don't know who a payphone is,
it's a phone that you have to put in coins to get. Let me explain to you what coins are. Coins are like Apple Pay, except in a metal disc. They're little metal discs.
It's like Bitcoin.
No, it's not. Because it's like Apple Pay, but like in little metal discs. So it's weird.
I think like the handful of payphones that are still around have like credit card slots now.
I know that's accurate for other countries. Like I've been to Mexico and seen payphones in Mexico, and they have places for your credit card. Which I don't know why you would go to Mexico and use use your credit card. I have enough with credit card fraud in this country. Last thing I'm gonna do is go to
super sketchy.
Yeah, but they do. I know they have one in the Bahamas too. In the port of Nassau, they have a bunch of payphones that take your credit card as well. So that is a thing.
I mean, that makes sense.
it
That's
does
a
make
major
sense.
port.
I just feel like I don't even feel safe doing that in America, and not to be that guy.
No,
that's like, but I
100%.
just,
No,
I
no,
don't,
no, no,
you know.
no. I agree with you. I agree with you.
But it does make sense if you're traveling and you don't have the local currency. It does make sense to be able to use a credit card, and it's just fucking logical.
Right.
But anyways,
Yes, and your credit card always has the most current exchange rate.
FYI, we talked about this earlier, Stephanie, but we just watched the movie Long Shot, and we recommended. It's recommended viewing.
I don't know what that movie is.
Yes, you do. It's
Yes.
the movie where Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did want to see that. It's somewhere now.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's in the family share on my account.
Oh, okay.
It's
Did
really.
it come out in 2019?
Yes.
It's a contender.
Oh, so it's eligible. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So,
I did want to see that. Well, now when I move, since I'm spending, an exorbitant amount of money on a house, I don't have any of it left. So I will not be leaving it for quite some time. So there is like a list of movies that like we're gonna watch. And
That's cool. I already told you I'll buy the pasta ingredients. You make it, and we can watch movies together.
I am. Missy has like voluntold me that I have to make a pasta dinner for everybody so that we can come over to my new house and I can feed everybody.
yeah, Dave was like, you could come in my office and see my figurines. I'm like, cool. That's what I'm gonna do. So about the pasta, where are we on the pasta?
Oh, because I learned how to make carbonara. That's where this all came from.
Yeah, I'm just about the mac and cheese. So let's just
Keep it simple.
I know more. I can make more things besides mac and cheese.
Listen. If it ain't broke, don't fix
My
it.
mac and cheese is bomb, though.
It's okay. Relax. It's okay.
It's good.
It's good. You're right. It is good. I'm sorry. That came off wrong.
That's
yeah.
fine.
It's
I'll
good.
never make it for you again. That's fine.
I think he's gonna.
No, please, no, don't do it.
Well, considering he's off the carbs and sugar
Yeah,
again, I don't think he cares.
Yeah, well, not that I don't care. I'm actually kind of relieved. I'm like, whew, okay, and I don't have that temptation. Thank God.
All right.
Because I'm a sucker for
That's
temptation,
fine.
y'all.
So you can
I'm
eat
such a
carrots and hummus at my house, and everybody else will have carbonara.
Hummus seems like it's grainy. Is that not carbohydrates? Is that not
It's
I don't
not
mix it up.
because
chickpeas.
chickpeas are it's made from chickpeas, and chickpeas don't have carbs,
That's
or
right.
they have very little.
It's
Oh,
all
chickpeas
protein.
are that's a legume.
They're a legume. They're a legume.
They are legumes.
Ah.
So they're like it's like basically
They
having.
are a legume.
So she's
You're
inviting me to
100%
have. She's inviting me to have bean dip. Is what she's having me to have.
I'm inviting you to have bean dip and vegetables.
That's it. That's all I need. I'm good with that. Bean dip, which is a carb, but it's actually
But it's a healthy carb.
It's a simple carb, not a complex carb, which
Oh,
that's what
okay.
you want.
Right.
Anyways,
Right.
this has been brought to you. We're sponsored this week by Comedy Fitness, a podcast at the Honda Geek Pro
Right.
Network. Anyways, that's it. We're getting into an hour and 45 minutes, so I think it's great. Thank you, Steph, for picking up. Honestly, I know I fucking bust your balls a lot, but thank you for hanging out with us, taking time out of your day. I know you're
No
super
problem.
busy.
This is like
Super
really
busy.
convenient on days where I can't come out because I'm doing stuff. So maybe we should do
Mama
this more
said
often.
there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this.
Don't do that.
My
no,
mama
don't do
said,
that.
Mama said,
No,
Mama said.
no.
All right. I was kind of getting into the groove. But,
Well, he's gonna hang up on you now, so
No, I'm not gonna hang up. That'd be rude and disrespectful. I'm not rude to my co-host, to their face. I talk about them when I hang up with them, and then I talk bad about them. That's what I do.
That's fine. I mean, ignorance is bliss. If I don't know about it, that's fine.
Exactly. Also, ignorance is ignorant. So there's all that. So, anyways, thank you guys for checking us out. I've been Nary Science, and Missy.
Been there.
And Stephanie, and make sure you check out Stephanie's event planning. You're still working through the week or through all this moving? Are you going to be getting it done by the time this comes out?
I
you'll
do
be fine.
not have an event this weekend. This is like the only free Saturday I have until mid-September.
Nice.
So,
well, it's good to have work. It's
other
a
than
good.
that, I'm booked.
It's a good problem to have. So
It is a good problem to have, but I'm very busy. But it's a good problem to have.
So to the listeners, check out her events planning page on Instagram. Events_by_ the letter U. That's events by you. The website is
MiamiEventsByYou.com. Events with an S.
Miami Events. What events with a what?
Events with an S.
Miami Events by you.com. So check that out.
Correct.
Missy's blog, she is a writer. Missy's blog is
MissyWrites.com, and you can find me on Instagram at MissyWriter.
Missy Writer.
With 87 S's.
Nope.
No, that's
Just two
that's the
S's.
reason it was a writer. It was going to be 87 S's if it was Missy Writes.
Okay, it was never
Oh,
87. It was never 87.
We're
as
joking.
his-
He's 34. Take it easy. I'm just look. She's so angry at me. I'm gonna throw dark chocolate at you so you don't eat me and don't get mad at me anymore. Now she's rolling her eyes. I think she's looking at her brain right now. I think she's able to look at her brain. That's how far back she rolled her fucking eyes at me. So check out her writing. Check out her blog. She's great. And then my comedies at naryscience.com or whatwashisname.com. This is gonna drop next week, so you'll have missed me headlining the Miami Improv, but I will be headlining the Miami Improv in September.
On Sunday.
There's
No, but
it's after that because it's gonna after that September 12th. I'll be headlining the Miami Improv. So make sure you guys go.
My anniversary.
Oh yay! So September 12th is a
Hey,
Thursday.
you want to go to the Improv on our anniversary then?
So
You're gonna be on a cruise, dummy.
I'm leaving the next day, so
That's
I
true.
can go.
So MiamiImprov.com. Get your tickets September 12th and have a lot of fun. WhatWasHisName.com. Check out the other podcasts on the Geek Bro Network, including the Shiver horror movie podcast, which we got to get to. And I think that we're gonna have to end up doing it via phone like this with Dave. But also check out the Mount Geekmore podcast. We haven't dropped an episode in about a month, but a new one's coming. We're going to do a new one tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Pero let me tell you, the aforementioned Comedy Fitness, Mamas and Merlot, The Talking Geek, Morbid Curiosity, and Zeros on Heroes. So make sure you guys check that out. Are available at geekbro.net. Make sure to turn off your pop-up blocker so you can see the player, the media player that has all the episodes to every one of those aforementioned podcasts. Thank you for checking us out, and that's how winning is done. Bye, Steph.
Bye.
Finally, we can talk about her now.
Oh my god.
Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk about movies, TV, geek stuff, news, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker.